Terrible. Go eat a bag of dicks.
The oldest known humor theory is known as the superiority theory, dating back to Plato and Aristotle. It says that we find humor in others' misfortunes and shortcomings. The realization of one's own superiority can be sparked by the presentation of the failings of others. When others are seen to be grossly incapable, one's own self-image is enhanced by comparison, says Thomas Hobbes. But the superiority theory is easily disproved as an adequate way of explaining comedy. What about when a scenario involves a person's shortcomings, like in America's Funniest Home Videos, but it moves us to tears instead of laughs, like in this heart-wrenching clip of Forrest Gump?
Every night we read a book. You're so smart, Jen. You'd be so proud of him. I am. He wrote you a letter. And he says, I can't read it. I'm supposed to, so I just leave it here for you.
One's shortcomings, misfortunes, and accidents are not sufficient reasons for why we laugh, deeming the superiority theory insufficient in the discovery of why we laugh. Freud one-upped superiority theory with relief theory, which said that humor is a sort of release valve for our inner desires. The theory explained things like dirty jokes. Laughter has been known to reduce the level of stress hormones epinephrine and cortisol. A new phenomenon called laughter yoga is now offered as a treatment option to relax and rid the mind and body of stress. Ram Bakht, an instructor at the Long Beach School of Yoga, gives us an inside look at a laughter yoga session.
So we're going to go to a laughter party, all right? So you're going to imagine that you're sleeping in your bed, and imagine you're having a funny dream. And just kind of laugh to yourself. And let's go into the shower. And, you have a laughter shower, so when you turn on the water, you have laughter water.
If laughter is solely a stress reliever, then we should expect those with the most stress, such as adults who carry the heavy burden of financial and occupational stress, to be those who laugh the most. But children are said to laugh more than 300 times per day, whereas adults laugh less than 20 times per day, rendering stress relief theory or comedic relief theory as an inadequate reason for humor and laughter. In the 70s, theorists rallied behind an idea called incongruity theory, essentially that we laugh at surprises and violations of our expectations. The idea is that we laugh at things that surprise us because they seem out of place or run against our expectations. Characters Sheldon Cooper and Amy Fowler explain the importance of expectation violation in humor.
This is interesting. Apparently, a key component in some forms of humor is the element of surprise.
Well, that makes sense. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning and anticipation, and patients with brain lesions...
Brain lesions!
Sheldon, you scared me. That wasn't funny.
Maybe you have a stick up your prefrontal cortex.
Okay. The notion that you can read a few books and come up with a definitive theory of comedy is absurd. I mean, humor is a complex neurological... Okay, that's pretty good.
The death of a young person is also a violation of our expectations. Unlike Sheldon Cooper unexpectedly dropping his pants, we do not deem the deaths of Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, or Reggie Lewis as comical just because their deaths were surprising and unexpected. Incongruity theory does not fully unlock the key to this burning question of what is funny, but Amy Fowler did have one thing right. It is impossible to come up with a definitive theory of comedy. As soon as you try and look directly at comedy to analyze it, all of the funniness disappears. Is funny ephemeral? Is it a science that can never be studied? Humor, like magic, only functions when we do not understand how it functions. When we try to understand it, we destroy it. Humor is then this internal combustion system which only works when we are not looking. If we are not fully able to understand what makes us laugh, then there is a part of our internal selves which we do not have access to. There is a missing puzzle piece to everyone which we can only catch a glimpse of in the midst of laughter, yet we do not have the ability to fully understand this piece. We are then left with an unknowing of ha-has and LOLs which masks a certain part of the self